Imagine waking up tomorrow and discovering someone had secretly made every decision for you. What time you wake up, what route you take, who you speak to, what you think about, what you'll still be doing 5 years from now. You'd probably call that a prison. But here's the uncomfortable part. For most people, that's already happening. Not because someone else is making their decisions, because yesterday is. Every day your brain is making predictions. It asks one question over and over again. What happened last time? If yesterday's actions kept you safe, your brain quietly suggests repeating them today. That's how habits are formed, not through effort, but through prediction. The strange part is that your brain never asks whether a habit is making your life better. It only asks whether it's familiar. And familiar feels true. That's why people stay in careers they've stopped believing in. Why they keep postponing the business they dream about building. Why they tell themselves they'll change. While repeating the same day for years, it's rarely a conscious decision. It's psychological inertia. An object in motion stays in motion. A life in repetition stays in repetition. The frightening thing about this process is how invisible it is. Nobody notices themselves becoming the same person. It happens one ordinary morning at a time. One conversation you avoid. One workout you skip. One opportunity you convince yourself to take later. Each decision feels too small to matter. But your brain doesn't measure importance. It measures repetition. What you repeat becomes what feels normal. And what feels normal eventually becomes who you believe you are. Identity isn't created by your biggest moments. It's built by the behaviors you rehearse so many times that they stop feeling like choices. Think about that for a second. The person you become isn't decided by your ambitions. It's decided by your routines. This is why comfort is so dangerous. Comfort never argues with you. It never tells you to give up. It simply offers you a version of today that looks almost identical to yesterday. And because nothing terrible happens, you accept the offer. Again and again. Until years have disappeared without you ever making a clear decision to stay where you are. But here's what most people never realize. The life you want isn't hidden behind one enormous leap. It's hidden behind a pattern. Because if repetition built your current identity, a different repetition can build your next one. Not overnight, not next week, but inevitably. Every time you choose the uncomfortable conversation, you rehearse courage. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, you rehearse discipline. Every time you act like the person you hope to become, your brain begins treating that behavior as familiar. Eventually, what once felt impossible starts feeling natural. That's how identities change, not in a moment of inspiration, but in thousands of moments that nobody applauds. So tomorrow morning, when your routine begins again, pay attention, because your future won't be decided by the biggest decision you make this year. It will be decided by the small decision you make today, and whether you repeat it tomorrow. Because in the end, your life is nothing more than the things you've practiced the most. And if that's true, the most powerful thing you can change is what you practice next.